Hola y bienvenido a Learn Spanish in SpanishDict.com. I'm Paralee Whitmire and I'm your teacher. Today you'll be learning how to describe your age and your family using the go verb tener, like tengo 24 años, tengo 5 hermanos, y mucho más. ¡Vámonos! La familia is one of the most important things to many people around the world, especially in Spanish-speaking countries, so it shouldn't be too hard to get someone to talk about who you have in your family. To talk about who you have in your family, you'll need to use the verb tener, which is a stem-changing and a go verb, but don't worry about the details just yet. First, I'd like to tell you about mi familia, and I'm going to ask you a few questions about tu familia. Don't worry if you don't know an answer straight off the bat, but try and use cognates, words that sound the same in English and Spanish, as well as words that you've used in your past lessons, like numbers. I'll also give you an optional answer after a few seconds. But remember that tener means to have, so try and find the forms of tener in each of the phrases that you see. ¿Listo? Tengo 8 personas en mi familia. Tengo 8 personas en mi familia. ¿Cuántas personas tienes en tu familia? ¡Qué interesante! Tengo una madre o mamá. Mi madre se llama Lynn. Tengo una madre o mamá. Mi madre se llama Lynn. ¿Cómo se llama tu madre? Tengo un padre o papá. Mi padre se llama Rick. Tengo un padre o papá. Mi padre se llama Rick. ¿Cómo se llama tu padre? También tengo 2 hermanos, Tyler y Porter. Tengo 2 hermanos, Tyler y Porter. ¿Tienes hermanos? Y tengo 3 hermanas. Se llaman Neely, Elizabeth y Magdalene. Y tengo 3 hermanas. Se llaman Neely, Elizabeth y Magdalene. ¿Tienes hermanas? ¡Qué bien! All right, after listening to all of those sentences, can you tell me how to say I have? Tengo. Bien. But if we look at our infinitive, tener, and we find the stem, what do we have? Den, exactly. And what's the regular ER ending for yo form? Oh, so how do we get tengo instead of teno? That's because tener is irregular and is what a lot of people call a go verb since the yo form ends in go. Many go verbs like tener, decir, and venir are also stem-changing verbs in the tú, él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, and ustedes forms. Or the boot. I told you we'd see that boot again. And remember that nosotros and vosotros fall outside of the boot, which means that they have regular conjugations and don't follow the stem change. Let's conjugate tener while talking about age. Well, in English, I would say I am 24 years old. To say soy 24 años is very incorrect in Español. In Español, you use tener. Tengo 24 años de edad. I have 24 years of age. Or you can just say tengo 24 años. That's our first conjugation, so let's put it up in the chart. Tengo, tengo. All right, we already talked about the stem of tener. Do you remember what it was? Ten. And this is a stem-changing verb inside the boot, except for that yo form. That always sticks outside of the boot for go verbs. But in this boot, we're going to change the E to an I-E. Ready? Let's put the den up there in all the boxes. And then change the E to an IE inside the boot. Tú, él, ella, usted, and ellos, ellas, ustedes. So we have tengo, and then our stems are tien, tien. Nosotros and vosotros are regular, so they're ten and ten. And then last we have tien. Then all we have to do is add the regular ER endings. Listo? What's the ending for the tú form? ES. Tienes 14 años. You're 14 years old. Tienes 14 años. What about the ending for the él, ella, and usted form? The letter E. Tiene. Tiene 50 años. He or she is 50 years old, or you are 50 years old. Tiene 50 años. Now, nosotros form. What is the regular ER ending for nosotros or nosotras? EMOS. Tenemos. Tenemos 32 años. We are 32 years old. Tenemos 32 años. And do you remember the tricky vosotros ending for an ER verb? E with a tilde above it, IS. Tenéis. Tenéis 45 años. You are 45 years old. Tenéis 45 años. And last, what's the ending for ellos, ellas, and ustedes? EN. Tienen 8 años. They are 8 years old. Tienen 8 años. ¡Qué bien! Ahora you know how to conjugate tener, your first go verb. Now I can tell you a little bit more about my family o mis parientes. El padre de mi madre es mi abuelo. El padre de mi madre es mi abuelo. ¿Cómo se dice abuelo en inglés? Grandfather. Grandfather es abuelo. Mi abuelo se llama Johnny y él tiene 87 años. La esposa de mi abuelo es mi abuela. La esposa de mi abuelo es mi abuela. ¿Cómo se dice abuela? Grandmother. Grandmother es abuela. Mi abuela se llama Hazel y ella tiene 79 años. Johnny y Hazel son mis abuelos. Johnny y Hazel son mis abuelos. Now, whenever you're referring to your grandparents, you'll use the plural masculine form of grandfather, abuelo. So you'll have abuelos. It works the same way for parents. You'll use the plural of the singular masculine form, father, padre. But parents is padres. Continuamos. La hermana de mi madre es mi tía. La hermana de mi madre es mi tía.